Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So, it's interesting. I was scrolling down the CoinMarketCap list, and nothing out of the ordinary, really. We're seeing a mix, really. A bit of green, a bit of red here on the charts, until I got to Algorand. And if you guys can see here, Algorand is actually up over 19% in the last 24 hours. And I mean, you usually don't see this unless there's something really, really big happening. And I was surprised, quite frankly. Kenwood Capital here posted this on Twitter, and apparently it is this FIFA partnership that saw Algorand rise by 19%. Now, I know soccer is big all around the world, but I did not think that we would see such a boom in price appreciation based on some fleeting news. Anyway, blockchain project Algorand has signed a partnership with FIFA, becoming the official blockchain sponsor of the 2022 FIFA World Cup that is scheduled to kick off, no pun intended, on November 21st. The financial terms of the high-profile deal have not been disclosed. However, FIFA will also create their own cryptocurrency strategy with the help of Algorand. The highest governing body of the Football Association plans to issue its own collection of non-fungible tokens as well. So the price of the Algorand token did surge more than 20%, or roughly 20% at least in the last 24 hours. We saw it up over 19%. Meanwhile, the top 10 biggest cryptocurrencies are in the red, with Luna being the only major altcoin that has managed to buck the trend. So interesting to see, usually, I mean, this is so old school. This reminds me of 2017 and 2018 when we actually saw altcoins really move on fleeting news. I mean, it's just one partnership, yet we see Algorand up over 19% in the last 24 hours. Definitely one of the top performing cryptocurrencies of the top 50, we'll say. Meanwhile, Bitcoin still doing its thing, trading right now 38,400 per BTC. The trend is continuing to move up. We are not losing support. It's not bucking that upward trajectory, that upward trend line. Bringing up XRP real quickly here. You can see XRP also rebounding out of that support level. Right now trading at just over 61.5 cents. It's trading right now at about 61.6. So you can see V bottoming out ever so slightly. If I throw it on the hourly, you can see it a little better here. It did V bottom out of here, but that is looking like it's forming a inverted head and shoulder pattern, actually, if you look at it on the hourly. So very, very healthy sign that we are likely going to see a trend to the upside. T-Analyst here also bringing this up. Bitcoin, who isn't bullish here? No comment. Another chart here from T-Analyst on Twitter, just demonstrating what we saw back in earlier Bitcoin bull runs, okay? Look at this, 2015 to 2016, and look at that pattern. Very, very similar to what we saw here. Now, this is the 30-foot view, okay? Zoom way out here, and you can see these similarities. 2015, the bottom of the market, absolute bottom, a move to the upside, correction, retrace to that upside, then the swing down before the move up, making new highs. And this is the phase we're in right now. If you were to look at the trend pattern here, you can see a very, very similar chart pattern if we start at 2019 and move our way to 2022, where we are today. That move to the downside, capitulation, then a move to the upside, some ups and downs, trying to retrace to that upside, and then capitulation, forming a new high, that first rally, and now moving sideways, and the bullish pennant pattern getting smaller and smaller as it's nearing the tip here. So again, this accumulation phase, very, very similar to what we saw in late 2016 before that final leg up. Now, I don't know if we are going to see an entire Bitcoin rally from this point out. Nevertheless, these patterns, I mean, chart patterns are essentially just psychology plotted on a chart. So I can see where he's going with this. BTC Fuel also mentioning this. This is how I see Bitcoin and the altcoin market evolving in the next 2 years. This chart is about the structure of the market. So again, just looking at structure, the psychology of traders. This chart is about structures of the markets and not about exact timing or levels. Timing can actually be months off. So he does put some time frames down here. However, he's saying, don't hold me to them. So on the top here, the Bitcoin chart, and on the bottom here, the altcoin chart, demonstrating what we could see Bitcoin peak in mid-2023 and then petering out by 2024. So here's how he's viewing the cycle, the fact that we are not even done yet. And the altcoin market, of course, he's projecting that we will see the bubble peak in late 2022 and then a correction followed by a dead cat bounce in mid-2023. So kind of projecting for the long term here, the scenario into 2024. Also note just over here, stock market capitulation. So he's also assuming that the stock market is really going to see some bad days here by mid-2024, and that will also be reflected in the crypto market. So another interesting perspective here from BTC Fuel. Wanted to thank him and TA Analyst here. And of course, Kenwood Capital for that Algorand news. Boy, Algorand, I did not think we would see such a spike up in price. We can see right now it has retraced a little bit, but it did see a high of about 74 cents. Right now, Algorand trading at about 0.707, so just over 70.5 cents. And Mike Manfield here on Twitter bringing us this Ripple partner news. He says here, Salt Edge is connected to Ripple thanks to the partnership with Finastra. And now we've got this, guys, Azimut. They have chosen Salt Edge to bring millennials closer to investment. So Azimut, the largest independent asset manager in Italy and one of the biggest in Europe, through its subsidiary Azimut Investments, has teamed up with Salt Edge, a leader in providing open banking solutions for powering its newly launched investment mobile app, BWise, in Italy to allow users to aggregate account information and initiate payments straight from their smartphones in a secure and frictionless manner. So integrating Salt Edge, Ripple-enabled technology in order to aggregate information, and this is going to make it obviously a lot easier for Gen Z investors, new investors to the game to probably be able to visualize their portfolios and better comprehend their investment strategies. The BWise app is set to debunk the myth that investing is accessible to financial gurus only and will open up access to smart savings and investing for a better future for everybody willing to try it out. BWise's founders decided to provide an easy-to-use app that, besides being a personal finance manager, would allow setting goals and reaching them by leveraging Azimut's long-standing experience in investing. And so they are leveraging Ripple partner Salt Edge for ensuring account aggregation and payment initiation within Italian banks for the app's users. Salt Edge has the widest bank connectivity of up to 5,000 banks worldwide, which enables BWise users to connect their bank accounts and directly invest and move the funds into Azimut. And I don't know if you guys remember, it was either early last year or late 2020, there was a consortium of Italian banks that all decided they were going to run on a technology that had a connection with Ripple. I don't quite remember the details of that particular partnership. If you guys do remember, do put it down in the comment section of the video. Anyway, interesting news here coming out of Italy, the Azimut Salt Edge connection. Salt Edge, of course, running on Ripple. Wanted to thank Mike Manfield here for posting that. Also wanted to bring you guys this from the Wrath of Kahneman: blockchain adoption among Malaysian small to medium-sized enterprises, a critical review on supply chain implications. Well, guess who they have listed? They've listed Ripple and XRP, among others. This study also proposes 6 blockchain projects that can be a good fit for Malaysian small to medium-sized enterprises, which are LuxTag. They also mention VeChain here, Ripple, and Stellar, Storage and Filecoin. So VeChain, I'm currently an active investor in VeChain, Ripple, obviously, and Stellar. So Ripple and Stellar, obviously, those World Economic Forum WEF coins that are also going to have a huge impact on financial markets in the future. Based on the benefits and evaluation done by this study, the blockchain space is worth exploring among Malaysian SMEs, both for near-term process enhancements and long-term growth. So this coming out of this report here from the Wrath of Kahneman, this is an older report. Nevertheless, if you scroll down here on the report, just taking a look at the conclusion, okay, they have concluded here. This paper has introduced several implementation areas that require minimal resources, including remittance, data storage, traceability, and Islamic finance application. SMEs that use these services frequently should explore blockchain implementation and its potential benefits. And they talk about these projects as market-ready blockchain projects. So these guys know the projects that they're mentioning here already set to go, and they include Ripple, Stellar, Storage, Filecoin, VeChain, LuxTag, the same list that Wrath of Kahneman also mentioned up here in this screen grab from earlier on in the report. So interesting news there. Wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. Also saw this, guys, from the Cryptic Poet. Has to do with Argentina. Their largest private bank launches a crypto trading feature. So Argentina now getting into the game, and yes, there is an XRP connection. Banco Galicia, the largest Argentinian private bank by market value, has added the option to buy and sell cryptocurrencies on its platform, and they confirmed this on Monday, which was just yesterday. The bank added a feature in the investment section of its app for users to acquire Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDC, and XRP. Wow, out of all the cryptocurrencies they could have chosen, of course, Bitcoin, Ethereum, a stablecoin USDC in this case, and they've chosen XRP, telling their customers that it is a new tool. CoinDesk verified this by logging onto the platform themselves. It's the latest tie-up between financial incumbents and service providers looking to bring crypto to the masses, be it PayPal tapping Paxos or NYDIG working with U.S. credit unions. Banco Galicia's service is operated in partnership with Lyrium, a Liechtenstein-based crypto product for digital wallets and mobile banking apps. When a user asked the bank on Twitter if the service was available, Banco Galicia said yes and added that it would be adding new investment options. So out of the 4 cryptocurrencies, BTC, ETH, USDC, again, a stablecoin, and they have chosen XRP to start rolling out this new service in Argentina. And I mean, why XRP? I mean, I always got to ask myself, why XRP? I mean, I'm not upset that they have chosen XRP. And you know, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when XRP was sitting in the number 3 spot on CoinMarketCap, I could see why a lot of these companies would have chosen, you know, the top 3 cryptocurrencies to add. But I mean, I guess for all intents and purposes, if you take away Tether at number 3, and if you take away USDC coin at number 5, XRP does sit up at the number 4 spot just behind BNB coin. And I mean, BNB coin is tied to the Binance exchange, so maybe this Argentinian bank did not feel comfortable necessarily adding BNB coin. Anyway, that is up for speculation. Nevertheless, I thought I'd bring that to your attention. Wanted to thank the Cryptic Poet here for posting that. And Ashish Burla, okay, he came on Twitter yesterday evening talking about RippleNet's Q1 2022 end with record numbers and customer demand. So he said here, you know, we're coming off our best year yet. RippleNet ended Q1 2022 with record numbers and customer demand. Some of the highlights are here by the numbers guy, so I'm going to get into this. RippleNet reached a 15 billion annualized payment volume run rate as customers expanded the use of RippleNet and ODL beyond remittances, including treasury and SME payments. ODL grew 8x year on year. So we are seeing ODL soar, guys, and I'm incredibly proud to see half of the customers using ODL today upgraded their services from fiat only. So what does this mean? All the banks, all the institutions that Ripple onboarded over the last several years, the ones that they were saying, you know, well, maybe you want to use the X current product before you start dabbling in cryptocurrencies like the native XRP token, which we know you're going to use in the future, but I get it now. You might not feel so comfortable using it. Well, these customers have finally decided to upgrade their services from fiat only and are now using XRP for liquidity, a testament to ODL's product market fit and the vision we had from day one. So that is huge. Global growth remains strong with improved product functionality, such as the ability for payments to continue processing even if an ODL exchange partner happens to go down. APAC is one of the biggest contributors of ODL dollar volume, totaling over $1 billion in Q1 alone. ODL can enable payouts in 25 payout markets today, including regions like Singapore, Malaysia, Poland, Indonesia, Thailand, and more, up from 3 markets in 2020. So ODL also really expanding by the numbers. You can see here just over the last 2 years, 25 payment markets, and that was up from 3 markets in 2020. These markets collectively represent 62% of the $700 billion a year global remittance market and about 86% of the $6 trillion a day global FX market, which includes treasury, corporate FX, cross-border payments. And finally, I'm very excited to announce that we have hired a new VP of Global Payments at Joseph here on Twitter, who is Sunny Joseph, only has 865 followers as of today. However, I'm sure that number is going to explode. XRP community members likely going to follow him at some point here. And I think, just about an hour ago when I was looking at this thread doing the research for the video, I think he was in the 600. So he's garnered about 200 followers just in the last hour or so. So Sunny Joseph, he's on board now to lead payments for RippleNet. Big news here, guys. XRP Crypto Wolf saying Ripple had its best year even with the XRP lawsuit. So imagine the insane numbers they'll do after they beat the SEC. Couldn't have said it better myself. We're all just waiting for that cryptocurrency clarity to bust down the doors in the United States. This is what's going to get crypto adoption really up and running, and a lot of money on the sidelines just waiting. waiting patiently. Anyway, again, a great synopsis here from Ripple's own Ashish Birla. Also just wanted to mention, just before I leave this tweet thread, that, the fact that we are seeing 8x year-on-year growth. More of their customers are now moving away from the current system, X-Current, what they use to entice clients to get clients. I don't know how long you guys have been with me, but right at the beginning, when I first started making videos, I had an epiphany, and I thought to myself, yeah, Ripple, what Ripple's doing here is because there are a lot of people that were critical. Well, why don't they just always use XRP? And they were trying to entice clients at that time using products like X-Current to get them on board. And I likened Ripple to a drug dealer, essentially trying to get clients by giving them the gateway drug before they get them on the hard stuff. And I'll see if I can find that video. I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner just for fun. But, to this point here, these clients, these customers, all these partnerships that we've seen over the last several years, it's important to keep track of who's doing what, because now we are seeing them migrate. Even if before they were not using XRP, well, now it's looking as though more and more of them will be using XRP. So guys, this is going to be very important moving forward. Gonna keep going though, guys. Crypto Eddie here bringing this up. Ripple has been working closely with South Korea for their digital asset framework. Maybe it's having a positive impact, because guys, this is what is happening now in South Korea. Let me just translate that. New South Korean Treasury Ministry nominee wants to delay crypto taxes for 2 years. Chu Ki-young Ho, the nominee of South Korea's new deputy prime minister and finance minister, he said on Monday that they planned 20% tax on profits earned from investing in digital assets and stock markets would be postponed until January of 2025. Wow. During a hearing at the National Assembly on Monday, Chu said it was too early for the crypto industry to impose a 20% tax on trading profits. Chu said it would be better to postpone the taxation until the crypto market matures and the laws are in place to ensure transparency and protect investors for transactions in digital assets. So these guys are also realizing the crypto market is still very immature. Not a lot of people, not a lot of big institutional investors are really getting into this market. That's where they're going to see real revenue, taxing big profits. So for now, they're realizing it's retail traders, people who are not making that much money to begin with. So I feel like their strategy is, let's not nickel and dime the small guys. Let's wait till big money really kind of rolls in, and that's when we'll start taxing. So South Korea has announced its intention in December 2020 of a 20% tax scheme on crypto trading, and so now that is being postponed. So some interesting news there. Wanted to thank Crypto Eddie for posting that. And guys, yesterday, Brad Garlinghouse was on Fox Business with Charlie Gasparino and Liz Clayman. Don't know if you guys caught this clip. They talked a little bit about Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger's stance on crypto, two dinosaurs in the industry who still don't sound like they really get it. Anyway, this is what Brad had to say.
Brad Garlinghouse, you heard it. The Oracle doesn't like you guys.
The Oracle of Omaha has spoken. Look, I think, I remember when I first heard about TikTok, and I just didn't get it. And I do think there are some things about technology shifts and generational shifts that are, it is hard to track sometimes. You and I both, I'm sure, remember Jamie Dimon just a few years ago talked about how Bitcoin's a fraud. Has his opinion changed in a way that understanding that whether it's Bitcoin or these other technologies, there's a lot of good to be done in the world.
It's not evil.
It's certainly not evil, and there's a lot of examples where you can use these technologies to make systems that we all depend upon more open, more efficient, and look, I think bettering society. So I'm not going to take the time to try to convince Charlie Munger or Warren Buffett that they're wrong.
How old are they?
I'm not 100% sure, but I've been told they're 91 and 98.
Okay, so we're not going to go there, all right? But in any event, you are the CEO of Ripple, the cross-border payment. It's competing with the SWIFT system, correct?
Correct.
XRP is one of your, I guess, can I say it's one of your currencies? How do I do this?
We talk about it as it's native to our technology stack.
And it's under assault by the SEC.
For sure. The whole industry, in my judgment, is under assault.
But I think if your case, the SEC is saying that it's a security, it's illegal essentially, pay us billions of dollars, and you chose to fight it. Your case will set the stage, set the agenda for the SEC's foray into crypto regulation and how far Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC, is going to go. Where's the case right now?
Look, from my point of view, the case has gone quite well. A lot of it has been, skirmishes around discovery and these kind of things. But it's clear that the judge understands that this is an important case. It's going to be, set precedent. It now, we're getting close to summary judgment filings. Everything will be before the judge now by the end of November. What that means in terms of how long the judge will take to review the case.
So it could be this year.
That's an optimistic view, but it's not impossible.
Just going to stop it there for a second. So we got Brad Garlinghouse here, just to sum this up, feeling optimistic about the case. He is saying now that although we were thinking that the case was going to be wrapped up before Christmas, Brad is still thinking that's an optimistic prediction. That said, though, anything can still happen. And the other important point I wanted to bring up was the fact that Brad is stating, okay, this Ripple SEC lawsuit has less to do with Ripple and XRP in particular and more to do with the entire crypto industry as a whole. Ripple is essentially the poster child now for cryptocurrency in the United States. And if the US is to get fair clarity for cryptocurrency adoption, well, Ripple's lawyers are the ones that are on the front lines fighting this battle. Let me continue.
What do you think of Mr. Gensler's approach here? He's a friend, I'm assuming, right?
No, I actually have never met him. He certainly, I guess the simplest way I'd characterize this, I think when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. When you're Gary Gensler at the SEC, everything looks like a security, which doesn't really make sense. And look, he said a lot of things that I just think are talking points that don't really make sense. He says justice delayed is justice denied. Yet they brought this lawsuit against Ripple, and every possible juncture they have sought to delay the case. And our view is look, we're trying to move as quickly as we can. We will continue to move as quickly as we can because we think it's very clear.
What do you think he's going to do?
Are on our side.
What's he going to do with regulation?
Well, I think he clearly wants, in the context that there is uncertainty in the United States federal government about who regulates crypto.
He wants it.
He wants it. He wants it. And I think it's empire building.
Now, will the
Sheesh, Charlie, stop interrupting. Anyway, Brad, saying Gensler hellbent really on placing every cryptocurrency in a box. It's a security. But he's saying, we've got facts on our side. We've got a strong case.
Republicans let him take it?
I think there's a piece of legislation reintroduced just last Thursday, bipartisan support, called the Digital Commodity Exchange Act, and it has broad support. I was on Capitol Hill 2 or 3 weeks ago, spoke with a bunch of elected representatives on both sides of the aisle. There's broad support that the CFTC needs to have a stronger voice here, and even the executive order that you and I have talked about before that Biden put out, it really calls for the SEC to work with the CFTC and other agencies.
One more question before we let you go. I know you're a busy guy. Will there be a shakeout in crypto? It doesn't really affect you guys because, if you know something about XRP, Ripple, 2 different entities, but plus XRP is trading at whatever it is based on the SEC action. You can get a bump up if you win. You're kind of, I guess, you're not going to be affected by the shakeout if there is one. Do you think there will be one?
Well, look, the overall market today that, Munger and Buffett think isn't worth anything is worth $2 trillion. Yeah. And I think the likelihood that 5-10 years from now it's worth a lot more than that is extremely high. But I think that the whole industry will have some that fail because some of them I can't figure out what the utility is. What's the use case?
Dogcoin. Doggy coin, Liz. I'm going to toss to you on doggy coin.
Okay, doggy coin. That's Dogecoin, dum-dum.
Liz Clavin and Charlie Gasparino. I love the banter that goes on Fox Business, almost kind of like a playful sibling rivalry type of banter. Dum-dum. Anyway, guys, you heard it here from Brad Garlinghouse, stating, right, the cryptocurrencies that don't solve a problem, that don't have a use case, are going to fall to the wayside. Obviously not going to affect Ripple or the XRP token. Wanted to thank Coining203 for bringing this to our attention. So, guys, there's just the latest update from Brad Garlinghouse on Fox Business, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.